What's up, YouTubers? Johnny DIY here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some quick, cheap, and easy DIY garage shelving. These are going to be perfect for, like I said, your garage. Maybe you have a workshop or a shed. But if you guys are new to my channel, please do me a favor, click the subscribe and notification bell so you can get all my new videos. Alright, let's get to this one. So to build the shelves, we can use regular old 2x4s or the smaller 2x3s. This is the same thickness as a 2x4. It's just 1 inch less in width. I'm gonna go for these 2x3s because they're plenty strong and it's gonna save me some money, as well as it's gonna save me an inch of space in between the shelves than, say, for instance, the 2x4s. But whichever ones you want to use or have on hand, go ahead and use those. And for the sheeting on top of the shelves, I'm going to be using 1/2 inch plywood. I recommend 1/2 inch or thicker if you're going to be putting really heavy stuff on there. You could probably get away with 3/8 if you're just going to be putting some lightweight stuff on top of there. Okay, now let's get to cutting all the wood for our shelf frames. Now for these side pieces, we're going to be drilling some of these pocket holes. And why we're going to be doing that is because our joint's going to be like this. And the pocket hole is going to drive the screw in like this. And that's going to give us grab across the grain. That's going to be a lot stronger of a joint than to say if we just put the screw straight through here into the long grain of this. It's going to be a much weaker joint. So we're going to have the pocket holes on the side and then we can drive them in. To do that, I'm just going to use the Craig mini pocket hole jig. I'll go ahead and put links down in the description for you guys so you can check this out, as well as all the other tools and supplies I'm going to be using today. Now when we're using this on 1.5 inch thick 2x lumber, we're going to line it up 1.25 inches away from the edge. Then we're just going to go ahead and clamp it down. Make a special clamp that's a lot easier than this C-clamp method, but I just put a little piece of wood as a spacer to distribute the force. Then it comes with a special step drill bit we're going to use. You just drill it. Shake out sawdust. And see, there's the nice long pocket hole. Give us a nice angle to put those screws into. And with this size of lumber, you're just gonna need 2 holes. So now we're gonna assemble a bunch of these rectangle shapes, and these side pieces, these are 21 inches, and these are gonna go right in between our 2 full 8-foot pieces, and that's gonna give us exactly 24 inches. And we're gonna be using 2.5 inch screws for those pocket holes. These are special screws just for that. I have a flat washer head. I'll go ahead and put links to these ones as well. So we're also going to want to cut a bunch of these support pieces. These are going to be the same length as these sides right here, 21 inches. And these are going to go right in between like that. And what that's going to do is that's going to give our shelves more support, but it's also going to give us a point if maybe you've cut a sheet and say it ends here. So you need to put something there so that it's supported and the next sheet is going to be supported as well. The total width of this is 2 feet by 8 feet long, so you're not really going to have any waste with a normal 4x8 sheet of plywood. But maybe if you make the shelf a custom width, or if you're using scraps of other wood that you have, you're going to need some of these supports. I'd say about 3 per shelf. And for these supports, you're going to want to do the pocket holes. You can do them on opposite sides. That way you'll have screws driving in from this side, then you'll have screws driving in from this side. It should make it a little stronger that way. Okay, so here we are in the shed where I'm going to be putting these shelves. The first thing you're going to want to do is locate and mark your studs. Now, I don't have any drywall or any paneling up, so it's easy for me, but if you have drywall, you're going to want to locate your studs, then take a level, and you're going to put that level in the center of the stud. Then you're going to take a pencil and mark all the way down the center where the location of that stud is, from the ground up to the top of where your shelves are going to be. That way we'll be able to screw right into the center of our stud for each shelf without having to locate it each time. Yeah, I'm going to be starting on this back wall since I'm going to be making L-shaped shelves. So how high and how much in between each shelf is going to be dependent on your size of boxes or your storage bins. So go ahead and measure those. Your storage bins that you have are the ones you're going to get, so you can space them out accordingly to fit those. But one suggestion is make the bottom shelf higher than the other shelves, because you can go ahead and put the big heavy stuff down there. You can maybe stack a couple things on top of each other. It looks like we'll be able to mount here in the corner. It looks like I'm going to have to add some blocking onto the side of this stud so that we can screw in through here into that blocking. Alright, so if you're working alone, you can go ahead and put some clamps on the wall or screw in some pieces of scrap underneath you. And make sure you're putting the crown of the wood up. We're going to do 2 screws per stud, and go ahead and use 3-inch screws if you don't have any drywall. If you have drywall, go ahead and use 3.5 or 4-inch screws. Once we've got the one in, we're going to go ahead and put our level on the back, and we're going to get that nice and level before we screw in the next one in the middle. Now once you've got a couple in the back, you're going to want to level out the side. And now the rest of my shelving is going to be equally spaced between each shelf. So I went ahead and just cut a piece that's the exact size between the shelves. Now don't forget about the thickness of the plywood that you're going to be putting on top of the shelf as well. Now I can just go ahead and mark easily across all the studs. Okay, so then it's just going to be a whole lot of rinse and repeat. the framing done on this side, I can kind of just use those shelves to line up the ones on this wall. Got all the framing installed. Now what we need to do is we need to install our 2x3 or 2x4, and we're going to run that from the ground all the way up to the very top of the shelf. And you're going to want to place those about every 4 feet. So one in the corner, middle, and then one in that corner to join both of those together. Now it's also important when we're screwing in these legs that we're going to be using a level on the face of these shelves and adjusting them up and down to get them perfectly level. And we also want to screw to the outer edge so that we don't want to run into the other screws. It's also important we tie in this set of shelves to the post as well from the back side. Okay, now before we finish putting on all the legs, we need to think about our sheeting and our supports. You don't want to put all the legs on and then not be able to get your sheeting in there. So we're actually going to do the supports now. All those short little pieces that are going to go in between the shelves to really strengthen it up. Now you can evenly space these, or like I have on this side, I'm using a lot of different pieces of scrap. When we join 2 pieces of wood, we're going to want to put that support right underneath that joint, and that's really going to strengthen up that joint. Make sure if we had any weight in the middle, it didn't sag. We'll go ahead and mark that joint, and we'll put our support right in there. These supports are kind of a pain to hold, so what I've been doing is I've just got my little finish nailer. I'm lining it up and then just putting a couple in it to tack it. You can also go ahead and just clamp a scrap of wood underneath the shelf to make kind of like a ledge for the support to rest on while we install one of the sides. Even with the legs not on yet, those supports really stiffened everything up. Let's go ahead and slide the sheeting in before we put the legs on. I'll use my circular saw guide. I actually figured out an easier way to hold it up while we level it. Just push it up, get it level, and then put your clamp right underneath the shelf on the leg. And then for the bottom of these legs, it's a good idea to put these little L brackets on the back side of them so that they don't accidentally get kicked or really hit hard. Now we just need to screw in our plywood to our shelves. Now you don't need to go crazy with screws, but one every couple feet is good. So that's about 10 or so per sheet of 8-foot section. It's gonna help add some strength to it as well. Okay, here it is all done, guys. I think it turned out pretty good. Plenty of room for all my junk on all these shelves. Anyways, I hope something in this video helped you out, and if it did, give the video a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell. That way you can get all my new videos. Alright guys, thanks for watching Johnny DIY. Keep on doing it yourself. Take care. And here it is, all filled up with all my junk. I mean, stuff. Well, who am I kidding? Most of it is junk.